Hello folks, today I want to show you my 66 Pontiac. A lot of people think it's a lemans or possibly a GTO. I wish. It's a Tempest, but it's a confused Tempest because it has a GTO hood on it and it has a lemans strip between the tail lights. So it's a Tempest, it's a GTO, it's a lemans, I don't know. But it's my little baby and I just want to do a quick video to show you where it came from. I've got some older videos with music to it, but those are, a year ago. I don't know. So let's dive into it. Let me show you what I got. Okay, so here we are. This is what I saw when I went to look at it. For the very first time, this is what I was looking at. Now, the car wasn't going to be very expensive to get a hold of, but you can see it needs everything. So in my mind, I could already see what I'm driving now, but here it is on the trailer coming home. I did purchase it. This was November of 2019. There she is in the garage. There it is. The guy told me that the motor ran. He didn't know anything about it except he knew it ran because he had fired it up before. Well, it turns out it was the poster child for the old oils. See there? I got it fired up, but it was ticking to beat the band. The lifters wouldn't pump up, and I tore into it to find out why. Okay, now let me explain why did I buy this car. Back in the day when I met my wife and we ultimately got married, I had a red 66 Pontiac Tempest, okay? It's just a regular car. It had big old fat Kragers on it and stuff. I'll show you that in a little bit. But I had a dream I got the car back on Thanksgiving night, and I woke up, realized it was just a dream. The car I got back had a 455 with a 4-speed in it. My wife and I were having a blast in it, but it was only a dream. I woke up and I was kind of bummed out, and I was like, ended up on Facebook Marketplace, found the car an hour away from me, which is the car you just saw. Okay, let's keep on going here. I'll show you. Okay, so there's my red one. That's the car that I had a dream about and caused me to go looking for my new one. So the motor was pretty bad. Out it comes. We said, the heck with it. We're not going to monkey with this. We're just going to go ahead and just give it a refreshing overhaul. It turned out it was pretty close to, completely usable standard bore. Took 5 times of cleaning this block to get all the garbage out of it. We started gathering parts, painting parts, cleaning parts, scrubbing parts. It was quite a bit of work. Okay, so now we've got new parts coming in. These are new lifters and cam and springs and everything from Spots Performance and a new oil pump. What else did we get? Oh yeah, all new valves, springs, keepers, valve seals, yada yada. So we're about ready for assembly. We got it cleaned up, start throwing the motor together. I wanted the car to be able to move under its own power while I was working on the body and stuff. So the motor was first. So there she is, all put together. Now it's time to go on to the rest of the car. And this is the Turbo 400. Turned out to be a good transmission, but I am still fighting some leaks on it that I'm going to address here in the next week or two. Here we are in February of 2020. Okay, we got a ways to go yet. So I start with all the front end parts, the core support, the inner fender well, just cleaning, painting, taking it down to bare metal, cleaning everything up. You can see the engine parts there in this picture off to the right. This all happened before I built the motor, actually. A little off on my time frame. So we get the front end set up because we got to have that on there with the radiator, fire it up for the first time. And we lit it up. We fired it. We broke it in. We went on to cutting patch panels on the front fenders, getting those welded in, get it all cleaned up. There it is, finished. Welding and what have you. So now the front end's done. We got the grills painted, got the fenders all in primer, ready to go. Pretty soon this thing's going to be tearing down the streets. I mean, pretty quick because COVID kicked in and my town basically shut down. So I had all the time in the world to work on this. This is Easter Sunday. It pulled out of the garage under its own power for the very first time. Okay, so I'm ready to get this thing on the road. Well, it's time to get after the dashboard, just completely redo that dashboard, get a couple of seats in it, take it out for its first test runs down the road, get a windshield put in it, do the body work around that, blah, blah, blah. Here we go. Okay, so with the car running, it was time. Time to get after the interior, check the wiring in it, replace whatever needed to be replaced. I redid this heater core flapper door deal. Got that ready to go back in. Here's the old dash. It's time to get all new gauge face for the Speedo, the new plastic that goes behind it. Oh, here's the dash. Starting to get it painted red like my old 66 was. There's the dash. It's got new plexi going across all the gauges, the plastic. It's installed here. We got the gauges underneath the dash, but those are going to change. Had to get some new wheels. Now that she's running, going to have a nice interior. Got to get the wheels. This is when it's about to go on its first drive. Right here. There's the first stop at the gas station. We are test driving with just 2 seats with towels. Gray primer, no hood. And there she is after a couple of shakedown runs. Okay, so on the shakedown runs, she shifted great. She ran out really nice, steered good. But it did have, I believe it was the driver's side lower control arm. It was shot. And when you let off the gas, it did a jig. And so I knew I had to get some suspension parts, which I did. And she started getting driven a lot more, but in gray primer for now. Okay, she's starting to get driven quite a bit more. Now I'm driving it just to see what might go bad with it so I can replace it, up front. And I'm starting to drive it all over the place. And she's treating me really well. So it was time to do the interior and make it a more comfortable car. I'm still running around with just towels over the seats. And it did have some carpet in it, but it's starting to show me it's going to be an okay car and really fun to drive. I really enjoy this car. And then I took it to a car show and got on the closing credits of Low Car Show. Okay, so at this point, the car has shown me that she's a nice driver, man. She just goes down the road silky smooth, runs good, shifts good, replaced a couple of the suspension components, She's doing me good. So it's time to have a comfortable interior because we've got the fall rod run coming up. And I just want to have a nice car to ride around on the strip with, when the fall rod run comes. And it's, more comfy for my wife. Now, this is during COVID shutdown where all the parts were on back order. And I had to source it from like 5 different places to get my interior to recover the old seats that I had. So let's dive in. I'll do it quick, show you the interior come together. So it was time to get the old interior stripped down to the bare frames. I have new foam. I have the new coverings. I have new burlap, everything. So I start tearing these apart, the old to new here. Nasty old buckets. These are actually 67 buckets, but I put them in 66 coverings. Got them all done. Nice and comfortable, all new foam, everything in them. Got new carpet, door panels, headliner. Got a new steering wheel. There's the headliner with the bows all marked and everything, getting ready to go in. And there it is. Bam. We got a nice red interior, just like my old car was. Coming along very nice. And there we have it. Now we got a nice interior to cruise around in. Okay, so now that gray primer is getting old. Okay, we got this beautiful, nice interior in it now. So it's time to start priming it to paint it. Okay, I already painted the door jambs and the doors in kind of a black cherry. Okay, so I shoot her in black primer. Okay, we'll show you that here real quick. But everybody told me not to paint the car. They said, leave it in the black primer. We love it. It looks mean, Just leave it. Well, I ended up leaving it, but here we go. Check this out. We sand her all down, we get her prepped, we get her masked off, we mix up the black primer, and we get after it. Took me a weekend to do it and get it put back together, but we got her flat black, and the front bumper's painted because the chrome was so bad. Here she is. That's when I finished at the end of the evening. Got her all put back together. This is March of 2021, and got some, like, I guess you'd call them glamour pictures, you know. She's out and about, looking good. People love it. So I ended up taking it to one more car show, Pontiac's in Pigeon Forge. I think this was 2022. And it ended up actually on the closing credits of Low Car Show once again. And that was strictly dumb luck. I was just in the right place at the right time, both times. All right, folks. Well, that's the story of my 66, the short version, really, honest to God. I mean, I've got thousands of pictures of building the whole car, but that's the short version of it. I know I hadn't shown much about the car, so I thought I would. I guess that's about it. I appreciate you watching. I'll catch you next time.